All right. Good morning. I'm getting an echo. Hold on a second, guys.
Good morning. I want to see if I hear an echo. No echo here.
No, no,
Just
that.
the echo in my
All
brain
me.
of that funky music from the Peak Capital ad. I was enjoying the funk on that one. Huh?
Yeah,
Wow.
I couldn't get to enjoy it as much because I was getting the echo. So I was like, "Wait, is that right?" Peter looks like he's on beat, but I can't tell what's going on.
Uh,
So I had to echo the whole time. So it's my bad.
oh
Uh,
man.
Good morning, guys. Welcome to Pre-Market Prep. I hope everyone's having an amazing morning. Hopefully, you guys are doing well. Hopefully, you're doing better than yesterday and worse than tomorrow. Peter, let's get to some numbers here and see what is going on.
Wait, I'm still working that out. Better than
Yeah, you got
yesterday
to
and
process
worse
it a little
than
bit, right?
tomorrow.
Hopefully, you're doing better than yesterday, but worse than tomorrow. So that means tomorrow's going to be a better day.
Okay, that
There you
I
go.
gotta wow that was too much thinking. All right, well, what I don't have to think about is actually the economic calendar because frankly, pretty boring. Economic calendar came out just a minute ago. We were looking a CPI number, right, which is basically our inflation number that came out. Just like yesterday, 0.2% growth was the expected. Unlike yesterday, it came out exactly at 0.2%. The only thing that was different, there is a year over year CPI, and with the number being right on forecast, I'm not quite sure why that was lower than the forecast, only by a tenth of a percent. The expected year over year number was 3%, came out at 2.9. But other than that, we were dead on to what the analysts all expected, and we can see the market popped up, went down, pretty much coming right back to where it started from right now. So, yeah, I'm not seeing much interest from the market. We were waiting for this, right? Seeing if this was going to be the big number that was going to move everything. And it, well, so far hasn't. So, what does that leave us with? Well, there's a bunch of data coming out tomorrow on the economic calendar. So maybe that'll give us some fun. We've got the import price index and jobless claims and a few things coming out tomorrow. I can hope for that. But for today, yeah, pretty quiet so far. We'll have to see what happens. Which leaves us with what? Earnings? Ugh, that's been fairly boring. Not a lot of big earnings out there. I mean, there's a lot of companies reporting, but not a lot of tradable companies. We'll talk about a couple of them, but yeah, for the most part, it's fairly quiet. So we're going to have to look at the gappers list, which, unless it's changed in the last few minutes, also is fairly light. But there's a couple of fun things, anyways, to talk about. So we'll talk about those, and then good old standbys. We always have the Magnificent Seven out there, ready to give us some trade opportunities. So let's see what we get.
All right, let's take a look here, guys. Quick look at our gappers list this morning. We got a bunch of things in the green. Again, the overall market not pushing anything up or down right now, as Peter mentioned, just kind of flat. We'll see how that ends up in a couple of minutes here. But on the gap up, we got a bunch on here. We'll look through some of these and make sure they actually belong here. I could see that maybe there might be some that do not. But for the most part, more on the gap up today than the gap down, and then a few that are not doing so hot this morning, like EET. I don't think I don't think I've ever seen this ticker before.
No.
But that is on here. So we'll see what's going on there. But yeah, let's start with some of these friends. Let's go ahead and remove yesterday's list. We had some good stuff on there. Starbucks was awesome. NVIDIA was great. Tesla. I mean, we had a great day yesterday, man. It was pretty good. So let's start here with the first one. SERV today. We're up 30% right now, 3.3 million shares traded. We got the volume. This thing has been in play before in the past, and we're seeing some action today, Peter. So what's the latest and greatest? Maybe news related?
It's been impressive that this thing continues to be on our list because, frankly, it was nowhere, right, a couple weeks ago. But they actually have news today. And I don't see Mike online. I'm not sure why Mike is not here. He's moved to a better time zone, which he said he was loving. He should be here. But he's apparently chosen the exact wrong time to move out of the Los Angeles area because Serve has announced that in partnership with Shake Shack and delivered via Uber Eats, you could soon get your Shake Shack meal delivered by an autonomous Serve robot. So, I don't know if that'll be worth the wait or the orders of Shake Shack because you might get a human and then be very disappointed. But yeah, I mean, I'd be curious to see how that's going to work. Will it get robbed, knocked off before it even gets to your house? Will you get your food If you get your food, will the robot? I don't know. Does it ring your doorbell? How does it? I don't know how it works. Anyways, somebody's gonna figure it out. So Serve, that's the news that they're partnering with Shake Shack via Uber Eats to deliver you food via autonomous robot. So there you go.
All right, there we go. That's gonna be fun and interesting. So we'll see where that goes. It is in play today. Tons of volume. Secondary for right now. We can always
Yeah.
move this up if it looks any better, but secondary, it does have news. It is up quite a bit, so I think it's worth taking a look at in our watch list. VSCO today is this looks nasty. Up 15%, 300,000, but just look at the pre-market action. Not sure if it's a buyout with this type of volume, but it doesn't look tradable at all. So not exciting at the moment. Peter,
It's
anything good on this?
I mean, they had earnings a week ago, so today it looks like they've got a new CEO. It seems to be lately CEOs are moving companies. This is Victoria's Secrets, by the way. They don't. I always hoped that they would trade well. I would love to have made money off of Victoria's Secrets, but never have. But anyways, they announced that they've announced a new CEO by the name of Hillary Super. Don't know who that is. Never heard of them. But Hillary Super is taking over CEO, appointed by the board for Victoria's Secrets today.
All right. So yeah, that's it's not looking good. So I'm gonna leave that alone. And this stock doesn't trade very well. Like we don't see it as much as other tickers that we don't trade a whole lot, but this one we barely see on here. And today again, just not looking exciting for the way I trade. So I'm gonna skip on this one. Heading over to the next one is gonna be VRCA. So VRCA is up 12%, 325,000. Verica Pharmaceutical. And I just it looks ugly. It is so bad. We could roll the truck on this thing, Peter. But yeah, what's going on with it?
Well, they had two bits of news. They had earnings, which was a good quarter, but this is a, I don't know, this is a smaller pharma. It's I mean, $220 million market cap here with only less than $9 million worth of sales. So yeah, we're not talking late stage big money making here, pharma. But they took the opportunity to coincide with their earnings to announce positive top line results from a phase 2 trial of something called VP315. Sounds very trustworthy when you name things like that. But anyways, I love their statement. It was well tolerated with no reported treatment related serious adverse events. So basically, nobody got super, super sick taking it. Sounds great. Anyways, whatever it is, it's some sort of skin treatment because that's their tagline. They're reinventing skin science, whatever that means. But yeah, garbage it. We can move on.
Yeah, no good. There's a truck. All right, next on here is going to be RRX, and this does not belong here. We'll move down to ITT, and I'm going to run through a lot of these really quickly. Let's look at FLUT. Yeah, I've never even heard of this thing. What are these tickers? QTWO, no. All right, let me just scroll down to what I like here.
You skipped over
Yeah.
K. You got to do
Okay.
K.
Oh, is this Kellogg's?
Well,
This is
it's
Kellogg's
sort it
cereal?
was it's Kellanova Brands is what they're
Yeah,
officially called for the moment. It was Kellogg's, but then they became Kellanova when Kellogg sort of split up. And anyways, it's still Kellogg's in my brain.
it is
But
in mine
this
too.
is the
Yeah,
division that makes all the snack foods. So if you liked Cheez-Its or Pringles chips or any of those, they're now going to be owned by Mars Company, which makes M&Ms and Skittles and Snickers and all those other things. It's a buyout. They're for about $36 billion. They are buying K and presumably taking it private because it's an all cash deal. I guess they have $36 billion sitting around. They're buying it out at $83.50. So the stock price, I noticed, hasn't quite got there. It's still a few dollars away, which is rare. Normally they move up to just under the price, but yeah, that's what's happening. They've said that apparently they've reached an agreement to buy it out. Oh,
yeah.
Rice
Okay.
Krispies is part of Kellanova, or Rice Krispie treats, anyways. So there you go.
Yeah, they make some okay stuff. My favorite cereals from them, Frosted Flakes, right, from Kellogg's. That's one of my uh, favorite cereals back in the days. Let's take a look at Riot this morning. We are up 2%, 371,000 at the moment. So we are getting a little bit of love here. Nothing explosive. I don't see the rest of the gang here on Bitcoin either. So I don't see Coin or Mara making any noise today. Yeah, very light volume on Coin. And if we look at Mara, Mara's got more volume, 830 up to 0.2. But again, I just don't see them heavily in play. We'll keep Mara on here just in case this sector is going to surprise us with something. But again, as we know, the real nice moves happen over the weekend, and by the time they hit us on Monday, sometimes, not all the time, sometimes it's kind of late, unless they're heavily in play, right? When we had this run at the beginning of the year, that was nice. We had a lot of fun right on here. Even towards the end of the year, we had a lot of fun here, but has not been the same um, after. Let's go down to, I'm going to skip through some of these because I think a lot of these don't belong here. So instead of spending time, I'm going to go straight to some of the semis. We got MU and we got SMCI. So let's take a look at those and then we'll see what's going on with the gap down. SMCI is up 2.6, not that much volume. MU is. MU is up 2.8 with some volume, 638,000. I know we had news yesterday, Peter, on some of these semis. Is that continuing into today, or is there something new on these two tickers?
Yeah, I think it's just a little continuation of that move. We had some good movement actually across the semiconductor sector yesterday. At least I enjoyed trading it. Had some good opportunity. It certainly was better than Starbucks was to me, but that's my fault. Don't forget that SMCI is going for a stock split. So I guess we can anticipate maybe a little bit more movement prior to that split, but that split's not coming for a while, right? Not happening till October the 1st. So, but it seems to be the thing that people are talking about. I don't see why that would move it today. I did take a look at SMCI yesterday. Once again, it was spready, meaning the bid ask spread was high, and it just was a little jerky. I would, if you like the semis, I would personally stick with the ones that we know move well with very, very low spread, which would be the NVIDIAs and AMDs of the world.
Yeah, yeah. SMCI moving here. I do like MU. I like the daily on it for a possible breakout here if we can get going. We got this bottoming or rounding action here, hitting what was this 85 now above 95 and into 100. So this could be great. Might not stay on my main list. MU is a little tricky to trade. There's better ones like obviously Nvidia and AMD, which we constantly have on our list. Like today, look at Nvidia, 14 million shares traded in the pre-market already, up 2.2. And daily also looks really nice here. So I will add Nvidia as well since we're talking about semis. And then if you like, you can put CMCI also on the list, also moving there as well. All right, I'll stop here when it comes to the gap up. Peter, anything that you want to talk about in regards to the gap up list?
Well, just on MU, I don't know if you would have heard of Prem Watsa. I don't really know. I just know they're an investor who, with large portfolio influenced heavily by Warren Buffett and his approach to stocks, has significantly reduced their size in Micron. So that was news this morning. Whether it'll change the stock price, I don't know. I mean, these are all pretty much green today. It's only Texas Instruments I see that's red this morning. Pretty much and Taiwan Semiconductor, every other semi is up today. So I think MU will do okay. Carlos, if you want to trade it, go for it. But I'm going to stick to my favorites. Other than
Yeah.
that, let's see. What was I looking at? Couple of earnings that we had both last night and this morning. Nothing that interesting. NU, I guess they're called new. That was after the close yesterday. They beat their numbers, had a good quarter, not trading a lot of volume, not that exciting. Dole, I always like to talk about the pineapple company, 4 times a year. This is one of those 4 times. They had their earnings, beat their numbers. Pineapple sales are good. And last but not least, that was on my list to follow was UBS. UBS also had earnings and beat their numbers. It doesn't really matter what the numbers are. The fact that they beat them, they're trading a little lower volume. That's what we got. As you can see, if you look at the earnings sheet, there's a few other things out there with earnings, but again, none of these typically get the volume that I like to see for a tradable stock. So what does that leave me with? Well, that always leaves me with the semis we talked about. It leaves me with Tesla. Tesla is still just churning its way. Its range expanded a little bit yesterday. Carlos was looking at the daily with us on it and was noticing that narrowing range. Right, yesterday we broke out top side of that range, so it and filled the gap almost perfectly. You can see the gap that was set right back in the first days of August. So we're now in a position to potentially move higher if the market allows it. So might be worth keeping a closer eye on Tesla today if you don't usually, because of that, in my opinion. Other than that, Apple is still surprising me with its continued upward motion. Again, the trading has been relatively light, meaning or difficult, but just on a daily chart, look how it's just been going up and up for the last 2 weeks now, and it's been working well here. So yeah, it just keeps slowly churning its way higher. So again, now once it also like I was saying on Tesla, it's filled this gap. So I want to see if we can get up to 225 maybe today again, if the market allows. So it's going to depend on I think all ships rising, and there might be an opportunity on Apple. And that's really all I was looking at. The other ones, all the other stuff out there, I'm going to wait and see if it jumps up on the scanners, and then I can trade them a little bit later today. How about you,
Yeah.
Carlos? Anything you're looking at?
Yeah, I like what you mentioned here, man. I like Apple and I like Tesla. Tesla was a monster yesterday. I traded Starbucks actually. I'm not gonna watch today because they typically don't have a second good day. They have one day. Today might not be all that exciting, right? But we mentioned them, man. At Starbucks, when they have news, when they have volume, they can trade very well, and they saw that a little bit of that yesterday. Today, I'm not sure how they're going to do. Could be a good secondary if we're going to give some of that back. I mean, it's just a new CEO, crying out loud. This guy hasn't done anything yet, right? Like, what the? All
Well,
right, we'll put in a secondary. We'll see. But he's got to feel pretty good and very confident after seeing this occur. So put in a
hit
secondary. But I
96 into
like
the
your list,
close
man.
yesterday.
What was that?
I said it hit 96 into the close yesterday. It closed
Yeah.
pretty strong, which surprised me. I thought it would sell off a little bit at the end of the day. So yeah, it's to me it's a surprising move.
Yeah,
But
I didn't think that was going to stick. I thought we are going to see a little bit of sell off. And actually, I was hoping for a play short here, right, into the gap. But no, it stuck with it. So awesome. All right, friends, let's take a look at the list on the gap down now. RGEN, we'll skip on that one. Nothing going on there. Eatsta has have news. This is down 12.6, 338,000 shares traded, as you can see here. So we definitely got some action this morning. Peter, did we talk about Eat already?
we have not.
Okay.
It's a restaurant group that I'm not really familiar with, to be honest. But they had earnings. The Brinker International. I don't know what their brands are. Somebody might know it there, but they had they had a good quarter. The stock is down a fair amount here this morning, considering the fact that their earnings were good. I'm not sure why they're down a full 12%, because their guidance was okay. Like, it was at the low end of the analyst expectations, but analysts make it up anyway. So the fact that it was within range, it doesn't seem to me like something they should be harmed for. Same store sales, like I keep mentioning, when you're in retail or restaurants, that's always important. It was up by 11.9%, and they run Chili's. Oh, okay.
Yeah, Chili's and Maggiano's. I never heard of It's Just Wings. I never seen that one. Seen these two for sure.
Okay.
But yeah, only these three groups. Okay.
So yeah, I don't really know why I don't know why they're being driven down here. So and either way, frankly, the pre-market volume doesn't look good. The price action doesn't look good on that volume, and on a regular day, they're only getting about 1.7 million shares on average traded. So I don't think it's in play. Not for me, anyways.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure how well that's going to trade. I do want to watch it just because how big this gap down is. So yeah, let's put it on the secondary. But I'm with you. These companies typically don't trade all that well. We'll see how the market opens, treats it when the heavy volume comes in here. All right, let's head on down to the next one. GLBE today. So GLBE, this doesn't look good. What is this? Global E Online. Um, it actually shouldn't even be here. It doesn't even have 200,000 shares trade. So we're not going to spend no time on it, Peter, unless you want to talk about it.
Nope.
But we'll move on. That looks horrible. Let's look at Sound. It's the next one on deck. And the Sound this morning, SoundHound usually making some noise. We are up? Why is this on my gap down? Oh, yeah.
What
Do I
what is
just let
happening?
me sure I have this right.
Yeah.
Yep, it's showing. Yeah, so let me just refresh my list real quick here. My goodness. Okay, we'll skip on that one. It's not really in play. I mean, it is up 2.2.
No.
Should be on the gap up list, but it's not really in play. CHD. Nope, nothing there. NU. NU Holdings. It's got 1.4 million down 2.7. I seen this before. I don't think I ever
Yeah.
traded it, Peter. Any trading
Well,
or
I
any
mentioned it
experience on this one?
earlier. It was the earnings after the close yesterday, so
Okay.
beat their
Yep.
numbers in the quarter again. Not all that interesting, frankly. So yeah,
Yeah. I'll move
not
on
for me.
from that. Um,
Yeah.
all right, last one here. REVG. I got no high hopes for this, and I was right. 200,000, 200 shares traded. I don't know what's going on there. So not really in play. All right, Peter. As far as the gap down, anything you like on your end this morning?
Nothing that is gapping down that I like. I mean, I see a few things gap. We have a little bit of a mixed market today. I noticed a lot of the Chinese offerings are down. I didn't find any particular news on that. So if anybody knows what's happening, you can let me know. We did, like you mentioned, have earnings yesterday on a couple of things. Starbucks was one that we were playing. It is gapping down this morning, but I don't know if it's going to be a good second day play. I don't expect it to be. Another one in that same camp is Home Depot, HD. They had earnings yesterday, down a little bit this morning, but I mean, we're talking about 5/100ths of a percentage point. So yeah, they're really not doing much. I don't I don't have anything on my gap down list that I say I want to trade this. So
Yep. Um, that covers our list, guys. Let's head over to our chat room, both of them over on our members chat and also on YouTube. Let's take a look here. NVDL, what is that? NVDL. Let's take a look. NVDL up 3.5, 3.7 million shares traded. So it is in play. Granite shares, what is this? It's in obviously ETF. Oh, it's long NVIDIA. Okay. All right. Yeah. I heard of this. Um, I mean, yeah, it's in play. Nvidia's always in play. Nvidia's in play, has been in play for like the last what year. So yeah, this is in
mhm.
play. If you it there's really not much to say on NVDL. It's just gonna follow whatever Nvidia's doing, right? So Nvidia's in play. I have it on my list. I'm personally not gonna trade the times two here, right? This is times two. Yeah, long ETF. I'm just gonna trade the stock directly, but you can do either one. If the stock price was still like
Yeah,
high, this could be another alternative. But this price right now on Nvidia is $111, right? So you can still get good buying power out of this thing. So and plenty of shares. So that's what I'm gonna go with. All right, let's take a look at PLTRs being mentioned in chat here. PLTR this morning up almost 1%, 1 million shares traded. Daily looks good. It's holding here, right? We had a nice little breakout a couple of days ago, created this new range above 29.50, looks like. So it's just kind of some ping pong action going on here. If it can hold here, the market can maybe give it a little push. Maybe you can get some kind of breakout. And this stock tends to run when it does get going. But man, I am so bad at this ticker. I keep saying it. So I won't be watching it, but you should watch it if you like it. I think there's some potential here. The volume is rather light because if you watch PLTR, which I've seen many pre-market actions on, the volume is high. Like when it's in play, like you're sitting at 2.5, 3 million. You're not seeing that today, but doesn't mean that it cannot be in play when the heavy volume comes in this morning. So Let's
Paris traded PLTR yesterday and did a great job
yeah.
at it. Yeah, it's got a good move. Didn't move huge range, but he caught the open move, played it smart, and took it. He had a great analysis on it. If you were in the chat room, he explained exactly what he was seeing, how the setup looked, what he was going after, and executed to perfection. So it was a good description and a good trade from Paris yesterday. So we love you,
Yeah,
Paris.
very. Paris, I'm telling you, Paris got to be one of the uh, cleanest trader that we have. I mean, his charts
Mm.
are so clean. And at first, you look at him, you think they might be messy because it's a lot of in and out, in and out. But once you understand what he's doing, and it's just so clean, right? So, awesome stuff from him. Let's take a look here. What's next over in chat? What else you friends have? So POTR, you can add it on your list. I won't be putting it on mine because I'm not a great trader of it. Socks, I think this is one you can. I don't usually trade these, but let's see how the chart looks today. Yeah, so I'm not gonna be watching this. I just watch the overall market, the SPY. But you can look at this one as well. This is a semi here, semiconductors. I have Nvidia. I do have MU today. I think semis are heavily in play this morning. When MU is moving, semis are interesting because MU is like it's a complete semiconductor company. They don't move a whole lot, but when they do move well, like they are right now, they got almost 800,000. You can expect stuff like AMD. Nvidia to have some movement, right? Because they're like the last to actually jump on the hype of AI or something. So the fact that they're moving today, it's good for a lot of tickers. SMCI also moving as well. So pick your favorites today out of the semis. I'm gonna go with MU and Nvidia on my list so far this morning. If you want to trade the whole sector, SOXL is a way to do it as well. It's an ETF there. Is it ETF or index? What is this? This is I think it's an index, right? Yeah, it's an index. Okay. ETF 3 times. Okay, there we go. All right, perfect. Over to our YouTube chat, friends. You see, you guys are throwing some stuff on there. We did look at this earlier. And I say earlier, we looked at it yesterday. But IBIT, I don't like the way this thing trades, man. It looks messy to me. Let's take a look at it yesterday. We did have it on our list yesterday as well. For my strategy, this would have not been great. It does break out. Like if you look at the daily here, I'm sorry, the intraday at 12, it gets going all the way to 35. So you got a $2 move there almost. I'm just not a big fan of the way this moves, right? So
Yeah,
I'm not going to be watching this. Usually
I
I'll
agree.
just be looking at Mara or Coin, but they haven't been great. I don't know what they do yesterday. Yeah, they haven't really been all that great. So I don't know. I haven't had a lot of luck with the Bitcoin stuff lately. All right, let's take a look at CRWD. How are these guys doing? They climbing out of that hole already? No, they're not. They're trying. They are up 1.7 here. I saw an
They got
article
a long
where
way to
Delta
go.
came back now. Yeah, Delta. Remember you mentioned last week, I think it was, that Microsoft was backing up CrowdStrike on the Delta comments that were made. And then I saw something yesterday where Delta is still trying to pursue this lawsuit, right? You would think just drop it and move on, but yeah, they're still trying to pursue that. And I think
Yeah,
CrowdStrike is just taking the stance like we don't care. You don't want to use our product, don't use our product, but we don't care. Let's see what happens.
yeah. And
Um,
your chart, the way you've got the daily looks gentle. If you sort of zoom out a little
mm,
bit on that chart image, you'll see how deep the hole
not
is.
pretty.
Yeah, see, there's a long
Yeah,
way to go to get back to their former glory, if you want to look at it like that. So yeah, it's
yeah.
yeah. I mean
Webush
that
gave him
that
an
means
up.
there's
Mhm.
opportunity, but it doesn't mean it's tradable, right? So
Yeah,
might be
yeah.
a good swing
Webush,
trade.
I think they were still holding their price target like around 315. So they released that
Yeah,
either today or last night. These guys are not going anywhere. They're and I'm sure Microsoft is a big enough company. There's some kind of clause in there. I think Peter, you mentioned this before, where Delta, you're not going to get away with this. Like they're not going to be responsible for your company losing millions of
yeah,
dollars. I'm sure some kind of clause that's that Delta's not going to win that on. So, all right,
no,
let's take a look here. So CrowdStrike, I don't see much going on here unless you're looking for a bounce play, but you got to see where the volume is going to be at. For intraday trading, doesn't really look good right now. So um, if you have space, throw it on your secondary, and we'll see what it looks like in a couple of days. They have earnings coming up in 3 weeks, I think, or 2 weeks. look forward to that. That's going to be fun. That earnings play, to see if they're still making some good money there. What else we have, guys? We have heading down here. Nothing else. Okay, perfect. Let's head over to community events and announcements, guys. You can always do that by going to barebootraders.com. And on there, if you click on webinars, I'm making my way over there. Webinars, you can see what's coming up for the next 2 weeks. Today's Wednesday. We're going to focus on what's happening on this Psychology Day. Peter?
Okay.
Peter,
Oh,
Peter,
I
Peter.
thought we were going with something fancy in between there. All right. Well, yes, it's Wednesday, midday, midweek. I mean,
I think he was right, but I think we all forgot. Let's just go with the announcements. Yeah.
all right. I saw something being queued up there, so I was waiting for it. So sorry for the dead air, everybody. All right, Wednesday. That means that it's Psychology Wednesday. In fact, we got a double dose of psychology today for you. So typically on Wednesday, we do our psychology webinar, which of course we will absolutely be doing today. So that's going to be happening in the the webinar room this evening. But earlier than that, for all of you watching right now on YouTube, if you stick around, we've got the Trading Through the Open as always. Kreda is actually going to be joining us at 10:30. She's our sort of our team psychologist. She's been helping us for a number of years, helped me personally. I have a lot of time and respect for Kreda, but she knows what she's talking about and is able to help you on your psychological journey. So certainly somebody who's teachings are well worth listening to intently, no matter how crazy you might think they are. And I only say that because, part of what she does is about affirmation statements and speaking positively to yourself. And again, here you can all have a drink. As a former, corporate executive, that is not something that American corporate executives do, right? Anyways, it is amazingly powerful and important when you're a trader, just like being an athlete, right? So I would suggest you consider it, even if you think it's a little crazy. Put yourself in a locked room if you need to, but you'll see the benefit, I can promise you. So speaking of psychology, tonight, like I mentioned, we've got our 8 p.m. webinar. Mike is going to be leading that. He's going to take you through how to create a solid process to enhance your trading. That'll be at 8 o'clock tonight. And then next week, it's Randy Howell that's going to be with us on how to deal with your trading demons. We all have them, so it's best to know how to manage them. That will be next week at 8 p.m. usual time. So Wednesday, it's Psychology Day, again, starting at 10:30 today. So stick around here on YouTube, and we will have that Kreda for you live for a couple minutes. And and then, of course, we got our webinar tonight for all of our elite members. All right. If you want information on the markets, tradingterminal.com is where I want to send you. But before that, hey, if you want to join us at Bearable Traders, we'd love to have you at any time. You can see our membership options right there. What's not listed right there, but we've been telling you about all morning and every morning for the last little while, is the $1 special. Basically, that intro offer, it's not $39. If you're listening right now, it's only $1. And again, we'd love to give it away for free, but we find that attracts all the unsavory bots and scammers, and we just want to keep them out because they're cheap. They won't pay $1. So the $1 is just to make sure you're a real human who actually wants to trade. If you are, then you're welcome to the room. We'd love to have you. We think you're going to find it a very valuable experience, and would love to join with one of our other membership options. So hopefully we'll see you in the chat room sometime soon. All right, Carlos, why don't we're doing levels now, or did we have something else popping in here?
Good question. We could, yeah. Let's do it now.
Okay. Coming. Processing.
It's coming.
What's happening?
You know what we need to get? We need to get remember the AOL? The modem.
I still have PTSD from that sound, so I'd rather
awesome,
not be
man.
hearing it again.
That sound was great when you connected. That sound was just like, it was awesome. It was awesome.
Yeah, that was.
You had one of those. Yeah, if you remember that.
Yeah, you'd get an email with somebody would put like a JPEG attachment, and you're like, oh damn it! And now you got to wait 20 minutes for the email to load.
You download it, go have lunch.
And then it'll be a picture,
Worse,
and you're like, I didn't care about that picture. That wasn't worth waiting for.
yeah. Or your
Yeah,
parents picked up the phone and disconnected you, and you're having conversations. Yeah, it was.
that's
It
right.
was.
That's right.
My kids would
I'm
never
on the
know. My
computer.
kids would never know the struggles.
Yeah, the
All right,
struggles.
friends. The struggles. We'll head right into levels. Let's do that, and then we'll worry about that announcements later. Let's take a look here, guys. Right now on my list, MU, Nvidia, Apple, Tesla. That is what we have on deck, and in semis again in play today. Really, really great volume. Look at Nvidia with 16 million shares traded, so they're just heavily in play. And keep in mind too, aside just from the continuation from yesterday, right? Semis got going yesterday. The SPY, right? The overall market. We got inflation data this morning. Went up, went down, then just came flat and seems to want to continue on the positive side here. So we'll see where the volume comes in at the market open, but be on the lookout for the overall market because that's going to drive things depending how people feel about these numbers that were released earlier today. So let's look at an MU. We'll get some numbers on here. I like MU today. MU is looking good pre-market. Again, might not give us a great trading day, but hopefully it does. 189 is the high of the pre-market on MU, so we'll mark that there. And then below that, guys, we do have 105.26, and then towards the top we do have 110.25, right? So great level there on MU. I think those two are more than enough if we do get going here. You do have another one right on there as well. It's going to be 108.11 just in case. Why not? Let's put it down. I think that's an area as well where you can see some action on. Towards the bottom, you do have the highs and lows for the last two trading days, doing a pretty good job. I don't think you need to add anything else there, my friends. That is all good to go for MU. And if you look at your your high, your low of your pre-market, it's pretty much right where the previous day close is. I'm going to be worried more about the previous day close and the high from yesterday. That's going to be the bigger level besides this pre-market low at that's at 97, right? So I'm worried about that instead. Nvidia, 17 million shares traded now. Daily looks very nice. High of the pre-market was set when the data came out here at 119.1. So that is your high of your pre-market, 119 exactly, actually. And then above that, 123.64. So great level there. And then above that, we do have 127.38. So two pretty good levels towards the top this morning. And then towards the bottom, we do have the highs and lows for the last two trading days doing a really nice job. So don't need to add anything else. NVIDIA looks good, heavily in play with some of the other semis as well. Taking a look here, the next one's going to be Apple. So if we look at Apple, look at the last couple of days, everything in the green as far as how these candles ended. Even the gap downs, right? We gap down here. We might have gapped down. I think we gapped down almost every day here, except this one. They all ended up in the green, right? So a really nice comeback to close this gap, as we mentioned earlier. Flat right now, not a whole lot going on, so not really gapping up or down. 221.99 is the high of the pre-market, and 220.32 is the low of the pre-market. So we're back in this range where Apple has spent some time before we had this major gap down, right? So this is not a strange area for Apple to kind of get stuck in for a couple of days. Hopefully not. Hopefully we get a breakout and we can take advantage of some momentum and some moves towards the upside here. 224.62 is a good one. And then right up here, we do have 227 towards the top. And I think that's all you really need for Apple right now. Tesla moving well, did well yesterday. Today already has almost 2 million shares traded. So that's looking nice. High of the pre-market was set by, again, when the data came out over at 210.75. And then towards the bottom at 205.81 is the low of the pre-market there. Towards the bottom, you're set. Highs and lows for the last two trading days are doing excellent here, so you're good to go there. Actually, there might be something right here, 203.37. You got this day here slamming into that and over here, so I think 203.37 might be something you want to mark down, just in case we go in the red and lower. But things seem right now like they want to be on the positive side this morning. So let's hope that continues and we can get a nice move up. Speaking of up, above the pre-market high, 214.89 is a good one. And then over here at 221.14, two really great levels there off the daily. And then you have another very clean one as well here, right at 227.39. So let's hope that Tesla can give some really great moves for the up or down, that we can get some clean action out of Tesla this morning. So like the way that is setting up. Friends over on YouTube, if you haven't done so already, slam that thumbs up. We are sitting at refreshing. I know we're sitting less than what we need. Yeah, only 200 with 614 people watching. So let's get those likes up. Today's also laptop day. So make sure you're hitting that like button and we can
Laptop
get
day.
rock. It is laptop day. Right? It's Wednesday. Yeah,
Yeah.
laptop day.
We got a
So
great video from our previous laptop winner, so congratulations to
I
Lewis who
saw that.
won our last
Yeah.
laptop and sent in a great video. It whole sort of went to the decided on an Apple, I guess, and went to the store and picked it up and had a whole trip in there. Lived in the UK. It was awesome. Whoa, hold on a sec. I got a call coming in. Oddly, the number just says 1992.
There it is. That is awesome.
Yeah, that was a computer. That was a laptop from 1992 calling me. That's not what you're going to win. You're going to win. You're going to win a modern laptop that will not have to do any dial-up whatsoever. So there
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
go.
Absolutely. Giving people flashbacks. All right, friends. So we are pretty much set here. What about AMD? Says our good buddy Puppet Master, who's been watching us for a long time. There's some names here, by the way. I went back to and I had to go research something for the pre-market show. I had to go back to a video pre-market show from like 3 years ago to try to get this information that we needed, and I was able to find it. And I was looking at the chats, man. There were some names that are still hanging out here. CFC, Puppet Man. There's a lot of names that are still been watching us for a long time over on YouTube. So thank you guys. Really appreciate the loyalty and the continued support over on the YouTube channel. But it was nice to see. I saw CFC there talking, a couple other ones that are on there. So it was pretty good to see you guys still hanging out here a few years later. So awesome. All right, let's take a look here. There it is. Andrew is
It's
on deck. Good morning, Andrew.
oh, there you
Yeah,
go.
Peter.
Morning. I was just saying, it's funny to me in the chat how so many people are saying AOL. Like that sound is in people's minds synonymous with AOL. AOL was just a service provider, right, at the time, but
Yeah,
they dominated the market so much that everybody associated with it. That was a modem that sound to connect
that
to
was just a
anything.
modem. Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, that was
I
just a
used to
chip,
use
no matter what
something
you're
called the
using.
National Capital Freenet, and that was the sound I used to connect to it. But anyways, back
Yeah,
in the day, that was just a
the
message chat board.
yeah,
Anyways,
AOL was big, man, because they made it really they made it like simple, right? So other ones had to do something else.
yeah,
But there's iconic. You got mail. That was like that doesn't get better than that, man. That was iconic
yeah.
sound that you got when you got in. Mail was so exciting back in the days. You didn't get bombarded. You get mail now, it's like, ah, who is this? You
There
know?
were some really iconic sounds back in the day. Back in the late '90s, when I used to work at Nortel, everybody used Yahoo Messenger. And Yahoo Messenger had that creaking door sound every time you got a new message, and
All right.
you used to like walk
Yeah,
around an
yeah,
office and you get that creaking door sound. Anyways, it was if
yeah.
anybody remembers that.
I recall that very well, man. Good
Yeah.
times, good times.
Good times. Yeah.
Um, All right, friends, we are set. Everything's looking good here. Right now, we have MU, Nvidia, Apple, and Tesla on deck. That is going to be my list for right now. Again, eyes on the SPY because the SPY is turning down a little bit towards the previous day close now. So we see how this thing ends today. Well, how it starts at the market open when the heavy volume comes in. And again, remember laptop day today. Before we jump away here, let's see if we can see what our moderators are looking at this morning. Peter's going to run us through that and see what we got going on.
Yeah, I'm still getting my list together here, but I know I'm going to be watching the usuals with AMD, Tesla, and Nvidia. I think we're going to keep an eye on Serve just because it's moving, and frankly, I'm disappointed that there's no robots coming to serve me food in my area, but we'll see what happens. Megan is going to keep it tight and watching Nvidia and the Qs. Jared is going to be watching Nvidia and the SPX spreads. Interesting. Something different there. I don't even quite know what that means. I apparently should have paid more attention this morning. Thor is going to be watching NVIDIA, AMD, Tesla, the indices overall, SPY and Qs. Pierre is watching AMD, NVIDIA, Apple, and Tesla. Brian in early with his list. Got to like it. He's waking up early. Some of the usual characters, right? AMD, NVIDIA, Tesla, Apple. Phil is watching the same semis. Wow, adding MU in there. Starbucks, he's going to try and stick with it, see if Starbucks has a second day play in it. And, of course, Tesla. We don't have any IPOs or SPACs today. I did take a quick look. It looks like it's going to be pretty quiet. What is today? It's the 14th. Yeah, we got something tomorrow, but nothing today. All right. We also have Brendan that came in with his list. NVIDIA, Serve. All right, putting Serve on the list there. Tesla and Apple. And Susan is going to be watching